All right, let's dive in. Today, we're really getting into the essential history and culture of the United States. Our goal, to give you the key insights, maybe some surprising facts from the sources we looked at so you feel, well informed pretty quickly.
Exactly. And it's fascinating because understanding these key moments, it helps you grasp the why behind so much of what's happening now, culturally and politically.
Yeah, that connection to the present is key. So let's start at the beginning, like way before 1492. Our sources really emphasize the diverse indigenous peoples here first: Cherokee, Navajo, Sioux, Iroquois. So many distinct cultures.
And they weren't just existing. These were complex societies. Big sophisticated governance, unique languages, deep spiritual beliefs.
Some with really advanced agriculture and trade networks too, right?
Absolute networks spanning huge distances. And structures like the Iroquois Confederacy that actually influenced later American political ideas. It was a thriving world.
Okay, then comes European colonization, starting around 1492 with Columbus. We see British, Spanish, French colonies popping up, but those 13 British ones, they eventually wanted out. Why?
Well, it wasn't overnight. It built up. A lot of it boiled down to feeling controlled from afar, especially with taxes. The whole taxation without representation thing.
That phrase really stuck.
It became a rallying cry. They felt they had no say in their own governance.
Which leads us straight into the American Revolution, 1775 to 1783, the fight against the British.
Right. In that crucial moment, July 4th, 1776, the Declaration of Independence.
More than just separating, it laid out this radical idea that the people should hold the power, the consent of the governed.
A revolutionary concept then. And it sets the stage for George Washington as the first president, the birth of this new nation, an idea that really echoed globally.
So, living into the 1800s, the U.S. grows incredibly fast. Westward expansion is huge.
Yeah, you've got the Louisiana Purchase basically doubling the country's size,
hmm
and then the gold rush pulling people west. Massive changes.
But this expansion also cranked up the tension over slavery, didn't it?
Immensely. It fueled the conflict that exploded into the Civil War, 1861 to 1865. North versus South, Union against Confederacy.
Fundamentally about slavery and states' rights.
Exactly. The North's victory meant the abolition of slavery in 1865, but the war itself just didn't split it. It completely reshaped the country and federal power.
Then we hit the turn of the century, early 1900s. Industrialization kicks into high gear. Lots of immigration.
The huge shift from agrarian to industrial society, and then America gets pulled onto the world stage.
World War I in 1917, and then even more significantly, World War II in 1941.
Yes. And after WWII, there's really no question. The U.S. emerges as a major global superpower. Its role changes fundamentally.
Which brings us toward the modern era, post-1945. A lot happens here. And internally, there's the civil rights movement in the 50s and 60s.
A powerful fight against racial segregation, led by figures like Martin Luther King Jr., absolutely crucial.
And at the same time, the Cold War is brewing.
Right, that long ideological standoff with the Soviet Union, lasting until '91, shaping global politics for decades.
And then technology starts to boom. Apple, Microsoft, Silicon Valley.
The tech revolution, another massive transformation, changing how everyone lives and works.
And more recently, events like 9/11 in 2001 and, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic have really left their mark.
Undeniably. History just keeps unfolding, adding new layers.
Wow. Okay, that was a rapid journey through centuries. From indigenous societies right up to the digital age, it's clear how each period built on the last.
It really is. And maybe that's the thought to leave you with. How do all these historical forces, games, the indigenous roots, the revolution, the conflicts, the innovations, the struggles for rights, how do they all continue to interact and shape America's identity and its place in the world right now?